All right, so let's do the math to figure out what our x offset and our y offset should be to get this centered. And actually, see, I did it already, but I had to test it, and now I'm going to explain it. So the first thing I did was I wanted to see the total width of just the grid here. So what is the width of my grid, dynamically speaking? Well, it's the size of each square times the number of columns. So we're going to say let total grid width equal size times cols. And then the same thing for the height. Total grid height equals size times rows. Okay, and then we need to figure out how much extra height do we have? How much white space do I have left over here? And that's going to be the screen height minus the height, and the width minus the width. So let extra width equal screen.width minus total grid width. So that's going to be basically the total screen minus the width of just the grid portion of it. And then we're going to do the same thing with height equals screen.height minus total grid height. So now I'm getting all the white space above and below, or all the extra white space here. But I don't need to push it over the entirety of that, because if I just do extra height and extra width, it's going to end up pushing it all the way to the bottom corner here. Like I'm not going to have any space over here. So I only need half of each of these things. So my x offset is going to equal extra width divided by 2, but it's also going to be plus size divided by 2, because remember how these place. In order to get them onto the grid, I have to add half of the size to push it over the rest of the way. Let y offset equal extra height divided by 2 plus size divided by 2. So, and that's how we end up having the grid dead center. No matter if we were to change the sizes, it would still be dynamically calculated. So yeah, that's all I wanted to do for this one. I thought I knew how I was going to do it, but I figured it was worth an extra video just to make sure I had it all figured out ahead of time. Because sometimes doing these calculations on the fly is very challenging, so it takes some time to think it out. But hopefully that makes intuitive sense. Basically, we're pushing it over half of the extra width, and then we're also pushing it over half of one of these blocks as well. And this is definitely dead center in the screen.